You know, in today's hospitality world, it's incredibly competitive. So, how do the very best brands do more than just survive? How do they actually thrive? Well, the answer isn't just about five-star service, it's about having a killer strategy. Let's dive into that. Hello, and a very warm welcome. I'm excited to be your guide today. My world revolves around using data and AI to help build smarter, more successful hotel operations. And I'm especially pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this online learning journey. We're really looking forward to supporting your professional growth in this amazing industry. So here's our roadmap for this session. We're going to cover 4 key areas. First, we'll talk about the modern hotel imperative. Then we'll look at the 2 very different paths you can take, transaction versus partnership. After that, we'll get into the real power of collaboration. And finally, we'll focus on how you can build that strategic mindset for your own career. Okay, let's jump right into our first section, the modern hotel imperative. We're going to explore exactly why just doing business as usual is a strategy that, frankly, just doesn't work anymore. Here's the situation. Hotels today are facing what you could call a perfect storm. The competition is absolutely fierce, and it's not just from other hotels anymore. You've got lifestyle brands, high-end apartments, all kinds of digital disruptors. On top of that, guest expectations have gone through the roof. People want seamless, personalized, tech-savvy experiences. So just relying on the same old sales playbook, that's a surefire way to get left behind. So this new reality brings us to a fundamental choice. It's a choice that you, as the future leaders of this industry, are going to have to make, probably every single day. Let's really dig into this critical decision in Section 2, transaction versus partnership. This slide just lays it out so clearly, doesn't it? The 2 mindsets. On one side, you have the transactional approach. Think of it like a sprint. It's all short-term, driven by price, and focused on grabbing revenue right now. But on the other side, you have the strategic mindset. This is a marathon. It's a long-term journey, all about creating shared value that leads to real, sustainable growth. And this quote just nails it. It's about that huge shift away from asking, what can I sell today, which is so limiting, to asking something much more powerful. How can we grow together over time? See, that's not just a tweak in your tactics, it's a complete change in your entire philosophy. So, what's the payoff? What happens when you actually choose this strategic path? Well, that brings us right to Section 3, the power of collaboration, where we'll see exactly how to unlock that mutual value and growth. This leads us to the big question, the one you should all be asking yourselves. What is the real, tangible advantage of building a strategic partnership instead of just settling for a quick, simple transaction? Well, the answer rests on these 3 powerful pillars: unlocking new markets, sharing risk, and driving innovation. And trust me, these aren't just corporate buzzwords. These are the absolute foundations of a resilient, market-leading business. Let's break down each one. First up, unlocking new markets. You have to think way beyond your own marketing budget. Imagine your hotel forms a strategic partnership with a huge tech conference or a luxury airline. You're not just filling rooms. You're aligning your brand with theirs and getting direct access to their entire high-value customer base, a market you might never have reached on your own. The second pillar, sharing risk, is maybe more important today than ever before. We live in a volatile world. A sudden economic dip or a global crisis can be devastating. But by sharing those financial, operational, and even reputational risks with partners you trust, you build a powerful safety net. You're not just trying to weather the storm alone, you're navigating it together. And finally, driving innovation. Let's be honest, no single hotel can be the absolute best at everything. It's just not possible. But when you partner with a cutting-edge tech company or a celebrated local designer, you can create guest experiences that are truly unforgettable. That gives you a competitive edge that feels authentic, unique, and is incredibly hard for anyone else to copy. Okay, this all brings us to our final and I'd say most critical section, building your strategic mindset. This is where we make the leap from seeing partnerships as just another tactic to truly embracing them as a core leadership philosophy. So, what do we really mean by a partnership-oriented strategy? It means that collaboration is never just an afterthought. It's a core asset, just as important as your building or your brand. The entire goal is to intentionally build relationships that create value for everyone involved and drive that sustainable, long-term growth we've been talking about. Look, as you prepare to become leaders in this industry, if you remember one thing from our time today, Let it be this: the ability to see the difference between a short-term transaction and a long-term partnership. That is the mindset that will absolutely define your career. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. As a future leader, which relationships will you choose to build? The answer to that question will really determine the future that you create. Thank you.